Yes, that's right, we have followed the trend and we are now on Teespring. You can now own the classic dive tee, Scuba Dude socks, and yep, you guessed it, a hashtag Flappy Snack Hazard sticker. And because it's a new shiny store, from the 11th until the 25th of July 2019, we are offering 10% off all of our merch. So head over to our Teespring store, which is pinned in the comments, and at the checkout, type in promo code SCUBADUDE. Offer only applies to Simply Scuba Teespring store and not simplyscuba.com. All orders are handled and completed by Teespring directly. Hi guys, and welcome to Daily Scuba News. So whilst everyone in Canada was celebrating Canada Day, Pamela Anderson was pleading for people to help release a captive orca called Corky. So Corky, yeah, that's a hard sentence to say, a captive orca called Corky.
Yep, that's why it's in your part script.
So Corky was captured off the coast of British Columbia way back in 1969, and at this moment in time calls SeaWorld Orlando his home, or her home, I don't actually know if Corky's a boy or a girl. Sorry.
It's a chica.
Sorry, a chica. So basically, in a new Peta campaign, Pamela appears in her birthday suit.
We've all seen that.
Yeah, so she basically poses in a cramped bathtub with her head sort of pulled awkwardly to one side, and underneath are the words, "Could you live in a bathtub for decades?"
So she penned a letter to SeaWorld CEO Gustavo Antorcha, saying, "Please don't let her die in the tank." Comparison is, the size of the bathtub, which is obviously what the advert was getting at. So she goes on to say that Corky's brother and sister are flourishing in the wild. Pamela hopes that SeaWorld will release Corky back with her family in a seaside sanctuary, maybe.
Yeah. So Peter jumped in and also mentioned that Corky was used in a now illegal breeding program, which at one point led to the death of 7 of her offspring within weeks, which is terrible. Okay, so right, it is time to get real. Wouldn't it be great to see all captive orcas that are in SeaWorld released back into a sanctuary? Of course it would.
Yes, definitely.
It would. The only problem is that most, if not all, of these animals, sadly, now only know a captive life, so it makes it hard just to go, open up a gate and release them back into the wild.
Yeah. Simply taking the orca out the tank, then placing it into the ocean won't work, and it can actually lead to the orca's death. And this is where using a celebrity spokesperson and not an actual proper marine biologist, maybe not the greatest of moves. Yes, obviously it brings attention to a wider audience. To build said audience wants to see the results rather than, they want to see the results now rather than 3 or 4 years. The prime example is the whale jail. Yeah. It takes time. Yes, I mean, the difference is that those orcas and belugas and everything that were in the whale jail, or were, depending on when this video goes live, they were originally wild and they'd only been in the pens for X amount of time, so then they could be released back into it, whereas in these orcas have been there for
decades.
Their life.
Yeah.
Most of their life has been in a tank. It's all very tricky.
Yeah, they don't know anything different. So basically, steps need to be taken. It's going to be a gradual thing. You've got to kind of expose them to, fending for themselves. Mm-hmm. I mean, the best thing is, put it into a sanctuary so it's a bit more protected. You can kind of monitor them gradually as they can then sort of branch out. And in Vancouver, these steps are being taken since the cetaceans ban in January last year, but as Shaun says, it takes time to plan these things, time to introduce the orcas to a new way of life, and using Pamela Anderson to spearhead this campaign might do, it might do more damage.
Yeah, I think the thing is, the reason why I put that in the script, and the only reason why I said the celebrity approach is a bad thing, is because people want results. People want results now. They want these orcas, and Pamela Anderson, again, she might be a marine biologist. She might have actually gone through, she was like, right, maybe she went to Peter and said, look, we need to do something about this now. That is absolutely fantastic, but the problem is the way that social media works is they want to see action now, and if you don't see action now, literally in a month's time, it'll be forgotten.
Yeah.
and something new would have approached.
Yeah, we need a kind of sustained kind of thing. Peter are very good at that kind of immediate shock value. Just
Yeah,
kind
of course, yeah. And
This
then
looks awful.
jumping onto something else. You know, it's yeah, that's why, as I say, it's great that, you know, obviously if Pamela Anderson, because she spoke about it, we're speaking about it here today. If it was another standard marine biologist, it wouldn't be that big a deal because, you know, a marine biologist is going to say that. So within aspects, that's a really good thing. But yeah, like we've been saying, most people are like, yeah, let's do it now. We want action now. When in fact it takes years.
It'd be worse to do it right now.
Yeah, it takes years, and obviously with the bans and stuff and everything now becoming illegal, SeaWorld, and obviously the whole blackfish incident, SeaWorld are having to deal with all these orcas now that they can't physically go and do shows with or that sort of thing. They've got to work out what to do with them.
Yeah, they're also making a lot less money now
Yeah.
because all the tourism has dropped, so they don't have the money to put it into...
It's an absolute mess. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Is using a celebrity like Pamela Anderson a good move? Will it work? Or will this attract people that don't actually fully understand the whole process? And because it's Pamela Anderson, you know, maybe she's an expert on orca rehabilitation, she might not be able to give out the right information as well. So if people, you know, Twitter and stuff, she might like, no, it's bad, without giving...
I don't know, I'd like to think, because she's done quite a lot of it in the past, so I'd like to think she spent a lot of time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a reason for her to do this, definitely, being probably an animal lover and all that sort of thing.
They haven't just written to Pamela as like, oh, can you just do this?
Here's a check for $25,000, tweet this out, thanks. But yeah, let's have a chat about it respectfully in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, want to give it a like, share it with your buddies to spread the word about Corky. I was going to say Corgi then. Corky. And of course, to keep things up to date with all things scuba and marine life, smash on that bell icon. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay classy, scuba divers.
We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.